Hello friends, I am Dr. Gaurav. In this video, I will explain the Exergy balance for control volume. Contents are exergy transfer by heat, work and mass, exergy destruction, exergy balance or second law analysis for control volume, exergy balance for steady flow system, exergy balance for non-flow system. Exergy transfer by heat, work and mass. First is exergy transfer by heat. It is given as 1 minus sink temperature, that is the temperature of the environment, divided by source temperature T, whole multiply with heat supplied. When the temperature T at the location where heat transfer is taken place is not constant, then we will do the integration of this term, and this is the differential amount of heat. Next is exergy transfer by work. It is given as W minus W surrounding for boundary work, because in case of boundary work we have to do work against the atmosphere, and for other form of work this value will be equal to W. So here W surrounding is equal to atmospheric pressure P naught into change in volume of the system V2 minus V1, final minus initial volume, where P naught is the atmospheric pressure, V1 and V2 are the initial and final volumes of the system. Therefore, the exergy transfer with work such as shaft work and electric work is equal to the work W itself. In the case of a system that involves boundary work such as a piston cylinder device, the work done to push the atmospheric air out of the way during expansion cannot be transferred, and it must be subtracted. Also, during a compression process, part of the work is done by the atmospheric air, and thus we need to supply less useful work from an external source. Next is exergy transfer by mass. It is given as mass into stream exergy or flow exergy per unit mass. When fluid properties are variable, then exergy rate transfer by mass will be equal to integration over the area. This is stream exergy or flow exergy per unit mass into density into volume into area, and this is velocity, not the volume. Velocity into area. Here it is exergy transfer by mass. It will be integration of flow stream per unit mass into differential of mass, where AC is the cross-sectional area of the flow and Vn is the local velocity normal to the DAC, differential of area or change in area. This is change in area, or we can say small area element. Note, exergy transfer by heat is zero for adiabatic system, because in case of adiabatic system this Q is zero, then exergy transfer by heat will be equal to zero. The exergy transfer by mass is zero for a system that involves no mass flow across their boundary, that is closed system. So when there is no mass flow, then this quantity will be equal to zero. The total exergy transfer is zero for isolated system, because in case of isolated system it involves no heat, work or mass transfer. Next is exergy destruction. Irreversibilities such as friction, mixing, chemical reaction, heat transfer through a finite temperature difference, unrestrained expansion, non-quasi-static equilibrium, compression, or expansion always generate entropy, and anything that generates entropy always destroys exergy. The exergy destroyed is proportional to the entropy generated. So exergy destroyed will be equal to T naught as generated, entropy generated into environment or dead state temperature greater than equal to 0. Exergy destroyed is positive quantity for any actual process and it becomes 0 for a reversible process. Exergy destroyed represents the lost work potential and is also called the irreversibility or lost work. So exergy destroyed greater than 0 represents irreversible process, equal to 0 represents reversible process, less than 0 represents that the process is not possible. According to conservation of energy principle, energy cannot be created or destroyed, but it can be transferred from one form to another. According to increase of entropy principle, which can be regarded as one of the statement of the second law, indicated that entropy can be created but cannot be destroyed. That is, entropy generation must be positive in case of actual process and zero in case of reversible process, but it cannot be negative. According to decrease in exergy principle, the limiting case of a reversible process remains constant. In other words, it never increases and exergy is destroyed during an actual process. For an isolated system, the decrease in exergy equals exergy destroyed. It doesn't imply that exergy of a system cannot increase. The exergy change of a system can be positive or negative during a process, but exergy destroyed cannot be negative. Next is exergy balance or second law analysis for control volume. Assuming that heat supplied to the system is positive and work done by the system is positive. The general exergy balance relation of control volume as shown in figure can be expressed as, so we have considered this as the control volume. So exergy due to heat minus exergy due to work plus exergy due to mass in minus exergy due to mass out minus exergy destroyed is equal to change in exergy of the control volume, x2 minus x1. Or we can say this exergy due to heat will be equal to summation of 1 minus dead state temperature or surrounding temperature divided by Tk, temperature of k component, minus Qt, minus exergy due to work W minus P naught V2 minus V1. This is surrounding work. In case of boundary work, if our work is not boundary work, then this quantity will be equal to 0. So we have to take this quantity only in case of boundary work. Plus, this is exergy due to mass in. Summation of in for all the masses into corresponding flow stream exergy per unit mass. This is for out. This is for in. This is for out. Minus exergy destroyed will be equal to change in exergy of the control volume. It can also be expressed in the rate form as in this way. So we have taken this rate of heat transfer here. Here with rate of work done by the system. Here change in volume of rate of change in volume of control volume plus mass flow rate. We have taken here mass flow rate. Here also we have taken the mass flow rate. This is rate of exergy destroyed is equal to rate of change of exergy of the control volume. Thus, exergy balance relation can be stated as the rate of exergy change within the control volume during a process is equal to the rate of net exergy transfer through the control volume by heat. This is by heat. This is in rate form. By work. This is by work. And mass flow. This is by mass flow. Minus rate of exergy destruction. This is exergy destruction within the boundary of the control volume. So this is within the boundary of the control volume. When the initial and final states of the control volumes are specified, the exergy change of the control volume will be given as in this way. X2 minus X1 will be equal to mass M2 into, this is the exergy per unit mass, minus M1 into exergy per unit mass. So we have done the exergy balance for the control volume. Next is the exergy balance for steady flow system. We have already defined this equation in rate form for the control volume. Most control volume encounter in practice such as turbines, compressor, nozzles, diffusers, heat exchangers, pipes and ducts operate steadily, and thus they experience no change in their mass, energy, entropy and exergy contents as well as their volumes. Therefore, rate of change of volume for control volume will be equal to 0 and rate of change of exergy for control volume will be equal to 0 for such system. This quantity will be equal to 0 and this quantity will be equal to 0. So what left is the rate form of the general exergy balance equation for steady flow. This is the equation for steady flow. For single stream, that is one inlet and one exit, we can write down this equation. Means this summation symbol will be removed for one inlet and one outlet. This is in, out. This is mass flow rate. So this is exergy in terms of heat, work and mass. So exergy in will be in terms of heat, work and mass. Exergy out will be heat, work and mass. And what is destroyed is the exergy destroyed. This is the exergy destroyed, where subscript 1 and 2 represent inlet and exit states. Mass flow rate is m, our dot is the mass flow rate, and change in exergy is given as by this formula. We have already done this. This is the change in exergy per unit mass. The exergy balance per unit mass for steady flow having single stream is given as by this formula in terms of per unit mass. So what we have done, we have removed this mass flow rate. We have removed this mass flow rate. This will become small w and this will become small q, where small q and small w are the heat transfer and work done per unit mass of working fluid respectively. For the case of an adiabatic single stream device with no work injections, the exergy balance relation further simplifies to this one, because in that case what we get, this quantity will become 0 for adiabatic, this q is 0 and no work transfer means this will be 0. So rate of exergy destroyed in this formula, rate of exergy destroyed will be equal to this one, which indicates that specific exergy of the fluid must decrease as it flows through a work-free adiabatic device or remain the same in the limiting case of a reversible process, because in case of reversible process this quantity is 0. When this is 0, then these two will be equal. For reversible work, rate of work will be equal to rate of reversible work, and rate of exergy destroyed will be equal to T naught into rate of entropy generated equal to 0, because in case of reversible work this quantity is 0. Next is exergy balance for non-flow or closed system. A closed system doesn't involve any mass flow, thus any exergy transfer associated with mass flow, taking the positive direction of heat transferred to the system and positive direction of work transferred to from the system. That is, by the system is positive, that is, heat given to the system is positive and work done by the system is positive. The exergy balance for a closed system can be expressed as in this way: exergy due to heat minus exergy due to work minus exergy destroyed will be equal to change in exergy of the system. So we can write down this one as in this way: this is exergy due to heat, this is exergy due to work, and this is exergy destroyed. It will be equal to x2 minus s1. So here there is a mistake. Change this s into x, capital X. So we have already done this formula. In case of control volume, you can see this is the control volume. When there is no mass involved, then this quantity and this quantity will be eliminated. In case of closed system, this quantity and this quantity will be eliminated. So what we get? We get this one, x2 minus x1. This is for the system, where P naught and T naught represent environmental conditions. It is the pressure and temperature of the environment, and Qk is the heat transfer through the boundary at temperature Tk at location T. So this is represent the location. Dividing the previous equation by the time interval and taking the limit gives the exergy balance for a closed system in this way. You can see this is in terms of rate. So we have replaced this Qk with the rate, this W with the rate of work, this is rate of heat, this is rate of work, this is change in volume of the system with respect to time minus rate of exergy destroyed. This is the change in exergy of the system with respect to time, where x destroyed is equal to T naught entropy generated, and rate of exergy destroyed will be equal to T naught into rate of entropy generated. For a reversible work, W will be equal to reversible work, or we can say rate of work will be equal to rate of work in case of reversible system, and exergy destroyed or rate of exergy destroyed will be equal to 0 in case of reversible process. This is our closed system, in which we are supplying the Q amount of heat and it will give exergy heat, and W amount of work we are getting, due to which we are getting exergy work. This is the exergy destroyed, this is the exergy of the system. These are the references used in the present video. Thanks. Any questions you can write to me gaurav.citem@gmail.com.